I am back with another renovation vlog and I am tackling a job that I have done multiple times on this channel, but it's about time I did it proper because I'm hoping it's the last time I'll ever have to do this for a good while anyway. Good morning. I fear things have come to a standstill. Or, as we learned in the last video, I am just impatient. It's Monday morning. I thought I might have a plasterer today, but no. He just has to finish the outside, and then my builder said he'll come back when he's finished, because then he'll make me my step, and he'll finish the corners, and I still have no radiators. As of today, later on in the video, I may have radiators. That's the thing. I feel like sometimes there can be like a gap of a day or two or three, and then loads of things happen in a day. So I just have to trust the process. Trust the process. And if you want fancy radiators, they're not even fancy. They look fancy. They're, I'll try to find a picture, but they're, you know, the radiators that look like they're old, but they're not. But yeah, if you're doing a project, maybe source them beforehand so you're not waiting. I'm just being impatient. It's Monday morning. I'm having me whinge. Now, cabinets. Oh, the cabinets. My kitchen cabinets have been 50 shades of green, grey, greyish. A couple of years back, I had pink cabinets at one stage. Oh my God, I forgot about them for a minute. My kitchen cabinets, they were originally, they're just like melamine. Is that it? They're not like, they're chipboardy wood. They're not like fancy wood. And over the years, I painted them green when I first moved in. And I loved the green. Had the green for a couple of years. Then during 2020, I lost my mind and I painted them in setting plaster by Farrow & Ball. And I kept that. I just wanted a pink kitchen, but it didn't work. And I kept that for maybe a year or two. And then I painted them in a greyish because I wanted a neutral, but it's a cool tone. And it has been, I painted them and I was like, I need to leave it because I haven't, I didn't fall in love with it. So now I am going to give them what I feel could be their last lick of paint because, not that there's only so many times you can paint something. There's only so many times you can paint something well. I'm going to take the doors off, one or two doors at a time, because I need to sand them. Because like that, the last time I painted them, I was getting a bit frustrated. I couldn't get the colour right. I just lashed on the last coat and stuff. And I think we can all relate to that when you're doing a DIY project and you just want to get it finished and you're exhausted and you're like, feck it, I'll just do it. So I'm going to just unscrew them, sand them proper, because there's a couple of like attention to detail things. Like there's a little knot from where the old handle was, little things like that. So I'm going to take one or two off at a time, deep clean them, because obviously they're full of dust from Reno, sand them to get the smoothness, I don't know. And then I do have a paint sprayer. The paint sprayer wouldn't be good for the walls, but it'd be good for this. So I think I might just give them a thin, hang on. If you saw me look startled, that cat's not my cat. That cat is, hang on, I move it around. This cat, hello, he's trying to come in. This cat lives, I think, the other side of that wall. He doesn't live on my road. I think he lives on the other one because I've seen him. Look at his breath on the window. This is why my windows are never clean. He's very friendly. He comes into the house and steals the food, and I have to be careful because he, not that he upsets the others, but he does. So, yeah. I'm also, just ignore the mess everywhere. When you're in mess, you just keep making mess. Like normally I'd put that bread away, but because everywhere is messy, I'm like, the bread can stay. Anyway, yeah, so you can see with the kitchen, I love the detail of these doors anyway, but you can see on camera, it's a very, very cool tone and it's very, very grey. So we are gonna add some yellow, baby. So you can just see, I don't know if you can see a bit around the handle So just there. These are the cabinets. I am not changing the cabinets with this project purely from a budget point of view, and I don't think they're that bad. Like, I'm going to warm up the colour, and this whole room, all of that, you can see no more grey, no more grey. In fairness, I was going for the beigey look, but it just kept turning out grey and cool toned. This room is going to get warmed up. Ignore my clothes on the clothes horse. So you can see at the end of the room there is a magnolia wall, which I'm not going to be painting everything magnolia, but you can see the warmth it kind of gives. Now this is plaster that has been drying out, so that's why that's looking grey. But I am definitely going for a more yellow base, creamy colour. I have a sample on the wall there actually. That sample is White Tie by Farrow and Ball. Now obviously get the Farrow and Ball mixed by a different paint brand that's cheaper. I usually go to Crown to get it mixed. So you can see it's a bit more white. So on the left hand side you've got good old magnolia, and then on the right that sample is White Tie by Farrow and Ball. I'm going to colour drench the ceiling as well. Also, a few people copped in the last video saying, oh my god, your chandelier is getting wrecked. That's literally, it is actually broken. That's not like a fancy chandelier. I got that like second hand, I think for £5. It's one of those, like this light is getting changed, and so is this one actually. I'll try find a picture of, I need to order the lights actually, but these lights are getting changed and they're going to match, and they're going to be much nicer than this. So yeah, that's just one of those little lamp, it's like a lampshade. So no chandeliers were broken, well, no proper ones anyway. Where was I going there? Colour, yeah, I'm going to colour drench the ceiling and the walls to make it feel nice, cozy, bounce to light, nice and warm. And then because my doors are cream, I feel like at the minute they can look a bit grey toned, and I think it's because of the surrounding area. So I feel like when everything is painted in that warm colour, you'll actually see like the true colour of the doors inside, which is a cream. They are cream. So maybe when I paint above here, and then also lastly, the beam. I was saying how I would love to have like a faux beam, and there was like a piece of wood put over the steel, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look that bad. But obviously just for like fire reg and everything, it's plastered in. I think for the minute I'll just paint the whole ceiling, paint everything in the one colour, and then we can like revisit it and see. I would love to have a wooden beam, but you can box it in. Like I could just put something around it and stain it. There's also a little hack that you can do with some brown wax. This could be turned into a little wooden beam, but at the minute I'm going to paint it because I'm like, do I want it as a feature? Because like that, when you walk in, the beam is not like perfectly centered with the doors. So I'm hoping by painting everything in the one shade, your eye isn't going to be drawn to the beam. So to beam or not to beam? Did you like what I did there? To beam or not to beam? That is the question. The positioning of my beam is because of that's where the engineer said I had to go. So that's the thing. Aesthetics and engineer reports. So the engineer report is very helpful because if I do go to sell the house down the line, do you know what I mean? At least you have that to be like, the work is sound. But yeah, I would love to have that beam centered with the thing, but that's where the old wall was and that's where the weight was falling. So you cannot override the engineer because of aesthetics. Anyway, I'm absolutely waffling. I'm going to get a coffee and I'm going to go to the paint shop and I'm going to get a can mixed up of a shade. I hope I like it. I'm just going to go to warm everything up in this room. And then if there's a colour, if I want to go mad and do some like mad interior colour, I can do that like down the line. But for now and for the next couple of months, I am warming everything up in a neutral. Some people might be like, oh, why aren't you painting, like taking a risk? I have no juice in the tank for risk taking at the minute. Like I know some people are like, oh, I'll paint the whole thing green or take a risk, but no. I just want to warm this up for like winter. Obviously, you know, we will be getting close to December. I'm not saying the C word. So if I can have everything warmed up by then. And then next year when I'm past the point of the mess and the renovations, I can be like, okay, do I want to add some colour? Or I do think I'm going to be adding colour with the furnishings. I have saved a little floral armchair to my wish list. Anyway, that's enough waffling there. But that's my update so far. It's the same as I left you in the last video. We are going to do some cabinet work. And maybe by the end of the video, I might have an else step outside. And thanks for sticking with me because, yeah, this is the reality of renovations is like you may have a few days in between. I feel like the first two videos is like massive impact. And someone made a really good point in the comment section to be like, there's days where, especially in the beginning, where, you know, walls come down and it's real, wow. And then it gets to the stage where there's little jobs. But those little jobs can make a big impact. But because you've gone from walls coming down to, I don't know, little things like a skirting board going in or, you know, it's not as, wow. Wow. I might have some wows soon. Just on the subject of paint and colour, I feel like I'm more of a pattern lady. I'm not a dramatic colour on the wall kind of person. I appreciate it and I love it in other people's houses. And I especially love it when I'm in like a pub or a hotel. And I'm like, whoa, moody colour. I have realised I am more of a patterned lady. I am someone who will pattern the ceiling. I'd wallpaper the ceiling. So I find myself being naturally drawn to the wallpaper section. So I have a feeling, obviously it's impractical to wallpaper in kitchens, but down this end in the nook, my problem is the wallpaper I like is too expensive. But the perk of having a small house, you only need 1 or 2 rolls, so you can kind of justify it. Decor maths. There's girl math, and then there's decor math. Anyway, I'm sorry for waffling. I'm going to have to put timestamps on these videos to be like, skip to here to skip the waffle. Over the years, when I have painted many a kitchen cabinet, I even painted, hands up, who remembers when I painted my old job's canteen kitchen? I think it was like maybe 2018, but I have painted many a kitchen and many a thing over the years. Sometimes when I've painted it, I have given it cat's lick, but today I'm going to do it properly. And by proper, I mean I'm going to take all of the cabinets, I'm going to take all of the doors off. I'm going to bring them outside and I'm going to, well, I definitely have to wash them because there's all of that renovation dust, but there is loads and loads of grime on them. And then I'm going to sand them because I have multiple layers of paint on the cabinets. And some of the times I painted the cabinets when they were on the door. So with them being upright, you can maybe get 1 or 2 drips depending on the paint that you're using. So I'm able to, I don't know, see them up close. And it's less awkward trying to maneuver them when I have them on my little woodworking table legs. You will notice on my sander, well, you might notice 2 things. So a little lesson that I've learned. I have a corded sander and I have a cordless sander that works off the batteries. But I find, I don't know what it is about the sander, I just find that the batteries burn out quite quick. And I had this older model of my sander that you plug in, and I have reverted back to using that when I have like a bigger job like this because I'm not having to worry about batteries being on charge. So yeah, the Ryobi cordless sander, I find it's grand if maybe you're doing like a smaller item, but if you're doing a lot of sanding, I think being able to plug it in is less hassle in the long run. So just a little thing I noticed. You might notice I have a spongy attachment on my sander, and that is to help sanding around like edges. So if you notice that if you go in with your sander, sometimes you can remove detail like when it's flat. So if there's like angles and curves, you can like accidentally nick it, especially if the speed is too high. So I got these spongy attachments. I don't know if that's the correct technical term, but I have these like spongy pads that are Velcro and they stick onto the sander, and then you put your sanding pad on them. So it means there's a bit more, you're less likely to kind of remove the detail. It's handy for things like this on skirting boards or anything that has like molding on it. Now I will say I completed my painted cabinets over the course of 3 days, because like that I was doing it between work, I was doing it in the afternoon. So do take your time. You could definitely do this in like maybe 2 days depending on how many cabinets you have. So I'm going to be doing the prep, then I'm going to do 1 coat of a primer just to block out any of the previous multicolours that the cabinets have been. And then I'm going to do 2 coats of my top coat, which is this lovely creamy, I'm gonna say it's kind of like a butter yellow, but it's not, I don't know, it's not as vibrant. It's kind of like a creamy yellow undertone that it has to it. Now I do get asked, why don't I paint the inside of the cabinets? And also, yes, that is I think 2012, 2013 wheelie bin sticker. So the dates of which bin to stick out on a Monday morning. I don't paint the inside of the cabinets just because it's a waste of paint. I'm lazy, and thank God I haven't over the years, because again it would have been like multiple colours and build up of paint. I am cleaning the inside though, because I could not tell you the last time I cleaned it. And while they're all being taken off and cleaned and painted, I thought, right, I'll remove all of the old stickers and random things that is stuck on and start from scratch. If you find your cabinets, if you've painted your kitchen cabinets, sometimes if you paint the inside as well, you can get a thing, I think it's called blocking, where they can stick and it's not quite nice. So just to avoid that and to save on paint, I just don't paint the inside of cabinets. And just for reference, for painting all of the cabinets and my kitchen area, I used 1 litre of paint, but I actually have a dribble left, so I'd say about 750 ml of paint to do 2 coats on all of the cabinet doors and the surrounds and the little bottom kick thing and the side piece. Now, time for confession time. Over the years, especially with doing weekly YouTube uploads, I have felt pressure to have a room makeover done start to finish, and like a massive transformation to feed the algorithm. And as a result, I have done rush jobs. So for example, on these cabinets, the last time I painted these, I was frustrated because it wasn't the colour that I wanted and I just needed to get it finished. So I cut corners. They're not done. Like, you don't have to do things perfectly, but I do think do them to the best or the highest standard that you can do them. And I think that's the difference between, telling something is a DIY job. It is that attention to detail. So don't get me wrong, it's really, really tedious doing all of the prep and going the extra mile. And that's the thing you don't see in the likes of these like fast, short form, TikTok room makeover videos. And it's like, wow. Or even back in the day when it was like Peter Andre and what was it, 60-minute makeover? No, I think a good project is going to take time. So now I am just sharing the project, like the process. And I know it can be frustrating to not see, a full, Reno in 30 minutes, but I hope today just sharing the process of painting the cabinets. We all have busy schedules, and we want to also enjoy our days off. So if it's going to take you a couple of days to do a project and do it as perfect as you can, then do that. Do it at your own pace. And don't compare to the speediness of what you see in like a YouTube video, or if it's like a glitzy, glam, swishy TikTok. So yeah, don't feel pressure to do, a whole project on your day off, because that's what I used to feel. And I no longer do that. I am taking my time and I'm finally doing it properly this time. Now, some of you might be watching going, hey, 10 minutes ago, did you not say you were going to use the paint sprayer on the cabinets? And I did. And then I changed my mind because we are allowed to do that. So I was like, actually, I want to get that hand painted effect. So a little bit of brush stroke. So you'll see that I'm using a brush, and then I have a little artist brush as well to smooth out any areas. Also, my paint sprayer I think is clogged, and I didn't want to go to the effort of unclogging it. But I don't think I cleaned it out proper the last time I used it. Now I could have used the roller for this one, but I said, you know what, I'll use the brush. So if you want to get a nice kind of hand painted vintagey effect, then you can use a brush. And also, this colour was an instant yes. The last time I painted the cabinets, I was kind of, when the colour went on, I was like, oh, I'll see if it'll grow on me, him and han. But as soon as I put this on, I was like, it's an instant yes. While these are drying, which I think these are the ones, these are the colour, this is the warm tone I've been looking for. But the plasterer popped by and he finished. So obviously that's wet and that's going to dry. But I don't know if you can see, it's like all the same, all the way around. So if you remember in the old video, hang on, last week's video, this was like all exposed, and yeah, so this is all being, now that will dry the same colour. Even here, like, and yeah, all of this was nothing. This wasn't here. So yeah, I reckon my builder will be here tomorrow. Or I'm kind of, because I'm painting, I'm like, oh no. Now, oh sorry Buggy, I didn't mean to jump up so quick. I don't know if you can see. Oh yes, this is the shade. This is the shade. Obviously it's not ideal to be painting cabinetry when there's dust. But some things I wasn't able to remove and bring outside, like obviously the trim. So while the plaster was here, I just wanted to show you the difference. I'm doing the kitchen a section at a time, just because if I have the builders tomorrow, the doors can go back on. They're less likely to chip because he has to take up those few tiles in the corner and there's going to be dust. So at least if the doors are back on, I'm going to do a second coat and put the doors back on tonight. I won't put the handles on, but I'll put the doors on. So if they come in the morning, at least these cabinets are closed and they're not going to get wrecked with dust. So Bjug, do you hear my logic? Look how fluffy her tail is. Look how fluffy her tail is. I had to shave her bum. So it's growing back. Don't ask me why I had to shave her bum. Anyone with a long-haired cat knows why you have to sometimes shave their bum. Anyway, I'm telling Bjug's secrets to the world. That's why I'm doing it half and half. So you can see there's just a little reflection of this light. So this is the warmth. This is the warmth I was looking for, Bjug. Yeah, it almost has like a green tinge to it. Like I know it's like yellow cream. So obviously see, this is the first coat of this. It's going to dry, so it could dry a bit darker. And yeah, I'll finish it off then tomorrow. But I hope you can see that the cream here will warm up the windows, because that is the colour. Well, it's a little paler. So I want to get rid of this tone. So if you have been watching the channel for a long time, I've been saying about the grey cool tone in this room. And this is what I want. Warmth. Warmth? Why does that sound so wrong when I say it? So I think when the whole room is painted in the one, like you can see there's a tester beside it of white tie. And I think when this whole room is flooded in that shade, it's going to be lovely, sunny, warm, cozy, not this cool grey. So I'm going to make a cup of tea. Make a cup of tea, Bjug. And what time is it? It's like 3:30 now. You can see the sun is starting to like change as we get more into autumn. I'm dreading the clocks changing, but anyway, it's inevitable. And I'm trying to get as much painting done before. So yeah, you can see the difference. That's one coat and then that's the grey tone. So Yeah, this is the cream I was looking for. Now, some people might be wondering, why have I not gone back to the green? Because I have said in previous videos that when I painted my kitchen green a couple of years ago, I think it was like 2016, 2017, I absolutely loved it. And I think that was my favourite colour until now of it. But you'll notice that I feel like with the green cabinetry, I don't know, I wasn't leaning towards it this time, even though I love that. I think it was aged vellum. No, it wasn't. It was Frozen Fountain by Authentico. That's the colour of the green kitchen from years ago. And obviously I love Lydia Millen's kitchen, and she has like a greeny, but more sagey. Now, the reason why I think I was like no was because, again, of that cool tone. So if you remember way back when this was my office in here, I had green on the wall. It was like a sage green. It was kind of like a bit lighter than my dungarees green. And I thought I was going to love it, but it actually made me made me sad. Not sad, but if you have watched this channel for a good while, you know, come winter, I am team sad. I am team need all the sunshine, need all the warmth, need all the brightness. I'm out from the crack of dawn, which in winter is 8. Just trying to get some vitamin D. I have to exercise. So that's why I'm so excited for winter. Well, have you ever heard me being excited for winter? But I'm excited to see what the lighting is going to be like. Obviously, me renovating my kitchen is not going to make the day longer. Mother Nature will be like, no, we're still going to get dark at 4:30, my friend. But I feel like I'll have more sunshine in my life. Sunshine in my life. Hopefully. So that's why I did have the green wall. And when I got rid of the green wall, I remember thinking like, oh damn, I thought I was going to like this. And then when I look at, so I love looking at like Lydia Millen's vlogs. And when I look at her kitchen, it does look warm and cozy, but this is another thing you have to consider. You don't know what aspect and sunlight someone else's house is. So that sage green could be like really warm and cozy in her house. But when I had the green wall in that room over there, it was giving dull. I don't know. And another thing, I'm going through a bit of my green era, because there's some green accents, obviously, if you saw the bedroom makeovers with the striped wallpaper, and I'm being conscious of like not getting too green. It's like when I was in my pink era back in 2016. People who used to follow me back then think I have like a really pink frilly house, but I actually don't. If you watch the videos, it's very neutral and earthy over the past couple of years. There's hardly any pink left, and if there is, it's like in maybe a cushion or an accessory. But anyway, where was I going with that? I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't want to invest too much in the green because I feel like it's a colour I could get sick of. And I think that's okay, because you grow as people and our styles change, and you're not going to love a colour all of the time. So yeah, that's why I'm going to be a bit more my base as neutral. And then I can, like, I've saved the chair. I've saved 2 little armchairs. And they're a colour that I don't think you'll expect from me. And it's not green. And it's another colour. Now, it will complement the palette of the house. But I'm like, is this my new thing? Am I going to be obsessed with this colour now? I don't know. Let me know if you're the same. Yeah, we all have our phases. I'm going through my butter yellow phase, I think. Although that cabinet is more creamy yellow. It's not, I don't think it's yellow, but it is butter. In Dublin, when I say butter, I sound really common. I don't pronounce the T's. But my friend who's only around down the road, she says it's butter. She's like, pronounce your T. But I don't, I say butter. And I sound really common. Anyway, butter yellow. Are you a butter or a butter? Bioga's looking at me as if like, what are you on about? Look, she's been attentively listening to me. Come here, do you want a little cuddle? Oh, she's on my microphone as well. How are you feeling today with the changes? Everybody was asking about you. They were asking, is Bioga okay? Has she piddled on anything out of stress? And A lot of people said that their cats also get stressed out with changes. So there is no need to fear Bjug. Trust the end vision. In a few weeks, you'll be sitting on a cute little chair, hopefully, please God, all cozy, no more banging, and all will be forgotten about. Yes? Are you falling asleep? I'm in a hug trap now. Bjug, I have to do a second coat of paint. Are you okay? I'm gonna have my cup of tea and then second coat of paint. I need to get one of those. I've seen people on the internet with like, is it a baby swaddle thing? And I was like, no, I can't do that with the cat. Do you want something to eat? Is that what's wrong? Oh, I think she just wanted a little hug. A hug for the Bjug. Right, do you want some food? A food and a nap. Okay. Here you go. Day 2, and it's rinse and repeat. Unscrewing the doors off. Also, your cabinets might be like mine where there is like a, I don't know how to describe it. I should have gotten a close-up, but you don't have to take the whole hinge off. You can just unscrew these little screws that are on the door side. Really common hinges when it comes to cabinets and wardrobes. I take them off, I clean them. I clean the back, I clean the front, I sand them, I prime them, I paint them, and then I stick them back on. And it is a little tedious, but it's worth it. And I always think painting kitchen cabinets, especially like mine weren't real wood, they were like that kind of veneered, kind of early 2000s kitchen cabinets. I love painting them. I think, yeah, fair game. Now, I would like to change my cabinets down the line, but cabinets are so expensive. Like you're talking 10,000 plus. And to be honest, aside from a bit of veneer chipping on the inside, all of the shelves, all of the insides and the components of my kitchen cabinets are totally fine. There is a couple of like chipped veneers that I could probably peel off and iron on some new, like to make it look a bit more cleaner. But like none of them are broken. Some of the edges are a bit bashed, you know, down where the kickboard is. But I couldn't justify the spend on cabinets right now. I really wanted to spend my money on, you know, the like wall removal and, you know, having the French doors installed. That's where, you know, I wanted to spend the money. I think if I was to get new kitchen cabinets, I'd want the fancy ones. You know, the fancy ones where like you open the door and the light comes on, you know, that kind of fancy. But until then, I am totally fine with just freshening up what I already have. Today is a sad day. The culprit is over my shoulder. Bjug. She chewed. This is why I can't have anything nice. Some of you may have noticed I treated myself to headphones. Over-ear ones because I can't wear AirPods. If there's 2 of them and they separate and they're not on a string, I can't do it. But I recently purchased a lovely pair of headphones and I was like, why aren't they working? Bjug chewed them. Here's the cable. Chomped it. Bjug has been chewing small cables. She doesn't chew big ones, although I did have to say to the builders, don't leave cables lying around. She will try. But from experience, like she cannot chew, like she can't chew these ones. It's only the really fine ones. Oh, although that's kind of, she'll have a try. But she can't chew through thick wire, is what I'm trying to say. She also grew out of this phase. She did this a lot as a kitten. She basically, not AirPod, you know the iPhone white stringy ones? I don't know how many of them I've gone through where she's chewed. But she stopped. Didn't you stop? Now, why did you do that? Like, why did you do that? You did that. I don't know how you don't get a little buzz or a little shock. I think that's why she does it. Maybe she does get a buzz out of it. Yeah, these cost me, I got them in the airport. They were on sale. And I saw them in the airport in May when I went over for the flower show. And I was like, raging I didn't buy them. And then I was in the airport in August and I said, do you know what, I'm going to buy them. If they're still on sale, I'm going to buy them. I was delighted with myself. With my little headphones. Very like particular about certain things. So when it comes to like, I can't just have any old headphones. I know that sounds weird, but like they irritate me, or like I'm very sensitive, and the sound as well. Anyway, I was delighted with my purchase, and I only have them since August. I texted my brother and he says the cable looks like it's fibre. There's loads of little tiny cables on the inside, because I said, is there any way you could fuse this back together? Because some of you will remember Bjorg also chewed the Christmas lights. And my friend's dad, Adele's dad, Greg, fixed them for me. He was able to put a bit. So I was able to get the Christmas time out of my Christmas lights because Bjorg chewed them. But I sent Adele's a picture of them to ask her dad, and I sent my brother one because like he's not an electrician, but he can do car electrics, and to me this looks like a little cable you'd find in a car, but my brother says that looks like it's fibre. But he did say, listen, bring it up and I'll try and fuse it back together, but I just know it ain't gonna sound the same. So there's loads of tiny cables in it. So I was absolutely heartbroken. I don't even have one side that has sound. The whole thing is broken. I thought maybe, I might have a right hand side. And I was going to listen. Well, I am going to listen to it, but I'll just have it on loud. I'm in a honeybee study group. And I had a good audiobook that I want to listen to. It's Honeybee Democracy by Thomas D. Seeley, and Seeley is spelled S-E-E-L-E-Y. So I have 4 doors left with the kitchen cabinets, and I've no builders today. So I'm going to finish these 4 doors and I'm going to listen to this book minus the headphones. And I don't even have backup headphones because what did you do to the last set of headphones? She chewed them, but with the iPhone ones, sometimes if she chews one cable, the other side will still work, so I'll have one ear. Anyway, this is I just thought I'd share my dilemma. It's trivial, but a few people had asked me, because people leave in the comment section that whenever I have headphones on a string, it stresses them out. We all have our stressors. Choose wisely. So I had gone cordless, and a couple of you guys noticed, oh my God, you got new headphones. And I went cordless, and now they are cordless. I really want those ones again, but they're like £100. I'm going to see if I can get them repaired. If not, I don't know, maybe I will have to just get a cheap pair. One that Bjorg can't chew. I love her though. I love you, but sometimes you destruct our property. And there's just no need to do that. No need. Anyway, 4 cabinets and a bottom piece. We can do this. We can do this. Now, my light has arrived. Well, one of them. There is a picture on the box. There is a picture on the box. I'll see if I can find a little screenshot of the one I got. So I have two lights in here. There's the old bedroom light that is above me with the broken chandelier, which you would have seen. Well, chandelier. Fake chandelier. Chandelier. I always think of Del Boy and Rodney whenever I think of a chandelier, and that episode where they changed the chandelier. I won't ruin it. Although I think everybody knows Del Boy and Rodney in the chandelier episode. But if you don't, there is the one there. You can't see it. You would have seen it anyway. It's like a spotlighty one. So I'm going to do the two lights and possibly the two in the hallway because they lead in here. I'm going to do them in these. So it's like a 5 bulb little shade on it. Now I'm not taking it out of the box because the little lamp shades on it are just going to get dusty and I have to paint the ceilings. So there's going to be one either side of the beam, and I'm after ticking off another job on the list. Not gonna lie, yesterday I was having a day, and I think it's good to share them, especially, you know, if you're doing renovation stuff, because it's like, even though it's fun, it's not always fun, and frustration and fun can be felt on the same day. And it's not always fun and it's messy. And halfway through I was like, oh my god, I've still so much to do. But then I was like, but look how far we have come. I think it's like the pressure to always make like a fun video. Like it's boring watching people just paint one thing, but I hope you're enjoying the process to this stage anyway. Just got makeup all over that box. So my builder messaged me pictures of radiator valves, and yeah, he knows the vibe so well. It's like antique brass, cute details. So I'm assuming radiators are like coming very soon if he's messaged about the valves. So I didn't get a chance to go and get the wall paint. I think we're going to do that tomorrow and in the next video, because I can paint like 90% of the room because there's only one dusty job to do and it's in that corner, and then the rest is, yeah, well obviously tiling is a dusty job, but you paint and then tile and then you can touch up, because I don't want to get paint on a new floor. I also have, as of today, I have no tiles ordered, but I have made a mental decision on the ones I want. And when I was there in August, the girl said that they have them in stock and the lead time is okay on them. But that was August. It's now October. I also have no tiler. I did have one in mind and they ghosted me when I mentioned the word herringbone. So this is for the floor, by the way. I'll do the backsplash myself. Also, I am just loving the warmth in this colour. I do think there's a hint of green. Trust the process, because once I kill off all of the grey in the background, it's just going to be lovely and warm and creamy. So yeah, I know some people might not like that colour, but trust my vision. Once the ceiling and the walls are painted, we've killed off all the grey. It's going to be so sunny and warm in here. What else was I going to say? Yeah, that's where I'm at. Oh yeah, I have no tiler, so I'm going to ask my builder if he has tiler recommendations, because that wasn't in their job spec to tile the floor. I had just asked them to remove all walls and level the floor, because I didn't want to have pressure to pick a floor, because I didn't know which one I wanted. Now I do, so I might just say to them, have you got a tiler you can recommend? Because I was like, oh my god, it's October now as well. If I want to have a floor for Christmas, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I have a concrete floor that's full of dust. But anyway, we are making progress, even though some days I feel like I'm not. But painting the kitchen cabinets is no joke. It is done and it's all just going to fall into place. And in a month's time, I'm going to be like, doing little snaggies, being like, what was I whinging about? I do like the look of the cabinets. I don't know how to describe the colour, because it is, when I look in the viewfinder, like in person it does look very, I want to say warm yellow, but that's not even the word. Like it is kind of like a butter yellow, but more creamy. There is a hint of green. I don't care what anyone says, there's a hint of sage off that. Or I could be delirious, probably more than likely. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna have some dinner. I'll see you in the next video, where hopefully I have radiators. I've been saying that for the last 3 videos. It's been mild this week, so I don't mind. But in the evenings when it's chilly, it is chilly in here, because you miss your rods, you miss your radiators. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking with me. If you're new, you can check out the progress so far with the other videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for the love. Cheeky thumbs up. See you in the next one.